Chapter 18. Afterbirth. I believe I have a future, and it might be good. Nothing wrong with having rosy dreams. Some of my rosy dreams have died. That's inevitable. Some don't. Some long-range plans I've reached to completion in grand sagas. Some are crushed. Certain tragedies are unavoidable. Madness, drama, family, death. I accept what is because I must. I must process and accept the looping story and tragedy and drama of this house of the rising sun I live in. I'm thankful to have a forever home after so many traumatic moves. This haunted heirloom four-poster after not having a bed for so long. I'm thankful for the gentle haunting that's loving and forgiving. There's a catch to everything free. I do feel as if this house is a blessed, healing place. In it I will find whatever peace I will get here. I never want to leave. The ideal life plan I want, I'm trying so hard as I can to make happen, is I just live here for as long as I've got left, pumping out free internet writing, videos, etc. New media, about my weird snowflake life snowed in. People seem interested at times. Writing, painting, and poking technology occupy me. Give me a reason to live. I hope the entertainment and probably schadenfreude of my creative work, freely given to other people, gives them a similar escape and schadenfreude as I get from watching American Horror Story. Life lessons of the human condition thrown in. That's entertainment. I may have left Hollywood. At this point, my whole life is a goddamn shit show. It's a show. It's reality television the way VH1 became CNN. Trump became president. I'm living my truth and writing about it. iCloud storage is cheaper than therapy. It seems more helpful lately anyway. Watching American Horror Story is also therapeutic for me, so I'll do that too. As is this. Do it works. This does. I'm processing. Trying not to be triggered into feeling sad about Kitty again. It's unavoidable. Anything having to do with marriage and death reminds me of her. Everything reminds me of her. I'm like a haunted ghost, haunting the house, haunted by her, unable to move on, as ghosts always are. But her ghost, when she comes to me, is kind and gentle and loving. She never manifests as a physical, tactile, murderous ghost like an American Horror Story. Last night I heard her say, "Was, feel better, I love you." I just wept before I went to sleep. I've been crying an awful lot lately. Crying alone, in this beautiful home. Watching Netflix. Writing. That's the best case scenario for me. I thought that was as good as it was ever going to get by July 2017. By April 2018, I wasn't crying all the time anymore. By April 2019, there was a new woman in my life, and my life had begun again. Shocking. But I'm very glad I'm not suicidal anymore, then and now. I mean, everyone has a tragedy. It's just always different. Quite often their own tragedy prevents them from empathizing with and understanding others, makes them jealous of and shame others for having different tragedies and problems. I understand that pain is as universal as death. There are, of course, and this is discussed a great deal by people wiser than me, many variations of different types of privilege and oppression. I'm not even going to say intersectionality since apparently it's out of fashion. I wrote it then, but not now. Being lost in your own sadness blinds you to the suffering of others. I too have been guilty of this. So has everyone else. Like all those people that tell me I don't have problems. You listen to this? Come on. It's just the human condition, though. There are no special snowflakes. The human condition is universal. As a writer, I am a student of the human condition and tragic stories. I don't pretend to know what this human condition, whatever the fuck I speak of, even is. I shall just continue writing, learning, living, and observing media to learn more all my life. I don't think I'm much more tragic or special than anyone else. Everyone's different. I didn't invent this world. I just live here. Most things in my life were preordained by my birth. That's genetics, which is a form of fate. Along the way, I made some quick, blundering choices and some wise choices without knowing all the facts. Drugs, drinking. I'm sure a bunch of other stuff other people are more aware of than I am when I didn't have a choice and they thought I did. Mistakes were made, however, and I do have regrets. But I'm grateful to have survived. Have a roof over my head. I'll just keep pumping out the writing, panning, video, tweets, entertainment. I feel like that's implicitly part of the bargain that makes my parents patrons of the arts. It's ridiculous, right? Like the Medici's in the Renaissance, right? Some could call me a parasite, and people probably will in the comments. I'll delete them. I do try for Idiot Savant Botticelli, but I don't think I'm worth it. I didn't expect all of this frosting and splendor. I have imposter syndrome that I don't deserve it. I project that other people resent me for what advantages I have despite these tragedies as well. Some other people, because opinions are like assholes, think me having some privileges should or does somehow negate or make up for the pain and tragedy that have scarred my soul. Everyone's got different pain and tragedy, different degrees and different sorts. People think that having enough money makes up for the pain. The thing is, it doesn't when you're crying alone in your house late at night. I still cry a lot. I did every day in June 2017. I was still alone. I was still in pain. I thought that would never go away. By April 2018, my phase of grief had shifted into acceptance again. I stopped crying. I accept my fate. As this is, what happened? That part cannot be changed. The past cannot be changed. It can only be accepted, coped with, processed, forgiven, endured, written about. I am alone, in grief, surrounded by beautiful things, processing my grief by writing about it. It's what we do. It feels good to cry. When I do go in and out of periods when I cry a lot or not at all, it feels terrible not to cry for a very long time. I cry so much writing the first draft of this book, watching the show on Netflix over and over. It's cathartic to cry. I cry so much writing the first draft of this book. It helps me to process. It's like I'm finally grieving, yet again and yet again as I read it to you, dear reader, dear watcher. But, the grieving process goes on forever with survivors, especially of suicide and especially of widows. But, on the bright side, watching American Horror Story always does remind me how much more horrible it could get. I am aware of that. That's about what it takes for me to feel better sometimes. I'm so damaged that I have to watch unspeakable horror, well executed, for therapy right now. Is there some sort of therapy of people confronting their horrors and processing them? I mean, I'm not going to go to the mirror and say, "Here, piggy, piggy," and to invite trouble like that guy in Murder House. I understand the respect you have to have for the supernatural. The gaslighting of her mental illness caused by the supernatural in Murder House is as relatable, entertaining as the sex. Another good life lesson of American Horror Story is, for me, is if you tell too many people or call the police about your supernatural manifestations, use them as a reasons to hurt people, that's when you get locked the fuck up. Whatever the fuck is going on. I won't be doing that. Murder House teaches that if a supernatural manifestation happens, don't call anyone or tell anyone. Just chill. Cooperate. It will go away. Don't scream. Don't protest. Just endure and survive. Don't call 911. If you call the police over a supernatural incident, I've seen it over and over, they don't believe you, and you'll end up in the psych ward. I don't do that. Better to know and just cope quietly than to do anything when I find out something unpleasant. Watching Vivian Harmon tell the police about the ghosts, rapists in rubber suits, shooting her cheating husband, being shipped off to the psych ward. Oh God, that is why it's very important to take my meds regularly. Not tell the police or anyone else, not that I would, that the supernatural things are happening. Or that they're real, because they're not. Either these ghosts I speak of, they're not real. On American Horror Story, no one knows what's real, because it's all acted out. I have a lot of different interpretations of what's happening. And, in my own life, that's another symptom of my schizophrenia. I am writing, processing, trying to have my schizophrenia manifest as a gentle, forgiving, healing, haunting presence that I can clearly differentiate between unreal and real. I do have proper medical care and a laptop. Lately, I want to shape my schizophrenia into the entertaining fabric of a story. Fantasy, mythology. So writers too.